Then mind over matter, why your brain and body don't always agree when it comes to dieting and how you can make both work together to meet your fitness goals. Coming up next, using mind over matter, how your brain has a lot more to do with weight loss than you think it does. We'll explain it when we come back. You've certainly heard the phrase, your mind can play tricks on you. Looks like the mind can play tricks on your body as well when it comes to weight loss. Here to explain is registered dietitian nutritionist Felicia Stoler, who's author of the book, Living Skinny in Fat Genes. Genes with a G.
That's
Felicia,
right.
Good morning. Nice to meet you. You brought stuff, but explain the concept of how the mind can trick the body.
Well, you know, the way we think about it as far as the mind tricking the body is that we think about certain things in terms of our active choice, right? So we think about what we choose, but more importantly, what I want you to think about is something called the Setpoint Theory. So our body has a place where it wants to be comfortable, right, as far as our weight goes. And so our brain regulates our entire body. So if you're somebody who is, let's say, morbidly obese, and you rapidly lose weight, very quickly in a short period of time in a less healthy manner, what's going to happen is that your body wants to go back to that set point because your brain is regulating total body system. So there are some ways that we can sort of cheat that and work around that. And you know, it's sort of like if I said to you, don't think about pink elephants, what's the first thing you're going to think about?
A pink elephant.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So some of the tricks and some of the things that I brought here are that I wanted to go over is about not really setting yourself up for failure, and as far as don't make some absolutes about what you're not going to have. So like if you're craving chocolate, have chocolate but have a small amount of it. I recommend that people have beverages, specifically drinking water. When you are having like a 0-calorie beverage, you're trying to cheat your body and you're trying to cheat your mind, but really it's like putting water in a gas tank instead of putting fuel in. So I definitely don't recommend that as an option. What happens is a lot of times people demonize food groups. So there's a lot of fad diets out there, and people are always saying to me, oh, I don't eat dairy, I don't want to eat carbs. But those are great foods to have. Dairy products have a lot of nutrients like protein in them, and carbs specifically, most people around the world eat a lot of carbs, and what I find the biggest challenge for most people is they eat too much. So I brought some different portions here. You see the round container.
Yes, ma'am.
That is that half-a-cup portion that we talk about. That's really what the portion size is, and the one next to it is the 1-cup portion. That's 2 servings. Most people are eating significantly more than that. So what I suggest for people that say like, hey, I'm just gonna go crazy, I like a big bowl of pasta, what I recommend is trying something like a carb blocker instead, so that you can, let's say, overeat, and now we're playing a little cheat with our mind here. So you're gonna overeat those carbs, but what's gonna happen is if you take a carb blocker, and specifically one that has white kidney bean extract in it, and I tell my clients to look for one with the brand Phase 2 in it, because there are clinical studies showing that people that take that before a meal, they are not absorbing 65% of the carbohydrates in that meal. So that's really great, because then you can eat it and not have to worry about it being absorbed and not getting those extra calories.
Where do you get one from? Like the health food store?
You can get it in the health food store, yeah. So there's different brands that are out there, and specifically the one that I like is Phase 2, because they've done the clinical research, and that's what's really important. There's over 15 studies that show that people that use that over 12 weeks can lose up to 7 pounds. So that's about a ½ pound of weight loss. So go back to what we talked about before with that Setpoint Theory. The most successful way to lose weight is small amounts. This way the body resets itself at a lower weight.
Tell me about the fat-burning snacks that you brought, you know, before you leave us.
So fat-burning snacks that I brought, oh, well, popcorn's a great snack, but again, you know, what we know about that is we want to have.
But that's safe, right? I know it's carbohydrates.
It is carbohydrate, but it's a whole grain.
That's a good one.
You know, it takes a lot of calories to actually chew that, right? And a lot of it is not getting absorbed because it's high in fiber. But what I also brought is I brought some meat snacks here. So we hear a lot about jerkies and different kinds of jerkies. You got to be careful of the sodium levels that are out there. Another thing I brought are almonds, and I love nuts. I think they're great. I think the important thing with nuts is to make sure that they're portion controlled, because again, you could sit down with a big container of nuts and then it ends up with a lot of extra calories, a lot more than you need.
Because I love cashews, and you look at the amount per serving, like, wow, really?
It's a quarter of a cup. It's not that much. But if you use something like a peanut where you have to do the work to actually get the nut out, you're burning a few extra calories when doing that. And you know, I brought these flavored sunflower seeds. My kids love them, but I always say go for the plain ones. You know, the ones with all the flavoring on it are adding a lot of extra calories, way more than you need.
Now tell me where we can get Living Skinny in Fat Genes with a G.
I think the easiest place to find it would be online. It could be Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com, because there's so many diet books out there, and the tips in there are just evergreen. And you know, it's the healthy choice is the easy choice. You just have to make it.
Felicia, what's your website in case someone has more questions?
FeliciaStoler.com.
All right, nice to meet you, Felicia.
Nice to meet you.
You brought
Thank you
snacks.
so much.
We like the healthy snacks. All right.